Hey, I'm Coach Nat, and welcome back to our journey through Jonah. Last time, we saw God's mercy in action. Jonah was spit out of the great fish and given a second chance. But what happened next? What will we learn today from this reluctant prophet's experience? Let's receive today's passage together. Then the word of the Lord came to Jonah the second time, saying, "Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and call out against it the message that I tell you." Okay, so let's pause and reflect on what just happened. This moment is huge. Jonah had run, been disciplined, repented, and was delivered. And now, God calls him again. Now, I want you to notice something. God didn't change the mission. The first time, in Jonah 1:2, God said, "Arise and go to Nineveh." And now, after everything, the command remains the same. Jonah had tried to escape, but God's purpose hadn't changed. This tells us something important. God's call doesn't expire just because we resisted it the first time. Maybe you've ignored a calling. Maybe you've made excuses, let fear take over, or even run the other way. But here's the truth. God doesn't give up on us. Jonah's second chance wasn't about his worthiness. It was about God's mercy and purpose. And look at verse 2. Call out against it the message that I tell you. Jonah didn't get to change the message. He wasn't called to soften it or tweak it to make it more acceptable. He was called to deliver God's truth as it was. That's our calling too. We don't get to rewrite the gospel to make it more comfortable. We are called to share the message as God gives it to us. So, how do we respond to this passage today? First, if God is calling you to something, stop running. His plans don't change just because we delay. Maybe you've hesitated to share your faith, to serve, or to step into a role God has been nudging you toward. The call is still there. Second, be faithful to deliver God's message, not your own. We live in a world that wants to reshape truth, to water down God's word. But like Jonah, we are not called to edit God's message. We are called to deliver it. If you've been given a second chance to obey, take it. So here's the challenge. Who in your life needs to hear the message God has given you? Jonah was sent to Nineveh. Where is God sending you? Maybe it's a coworker, a friend, or even a family member. Maybe it's stepping up to lead in your church. Maybe it's finally sharing your testimony. Jonah's mission didn't change. He just had to decide whether he would obey. What about you? God has placed His truth in your hands. Will you keep running, or will you rise up and go?